Are you struggling to understand the difference between extends and super in Java wildcards? Do type erasure and generic methods keep you up at night? In this video, we will cover Java generics practice questions, full certification exam prep. Master Java generics with this deep dive practice session. This video features 30 carefully curated multiple choice questions designed to mirror actual Java certification exams. In this comprehensive guide, we are diving deep into 30 high-yield practice questions for Java generics. Whether you are preparing for a professional certification or a technical interview, these questions cover everything from basic syntax to complex covariance and contravariance. Make sure to grab a notebook, follow along, and test your knowledge as we go. Which of the following is the correct way to declare a generic class in Java? Option A. Class box less than t greater than t content. Closing curly bracket. Option B. Class box t content. Closing curly bracket. Option C. Class box t content. Closing curly bracket. Option D. Class box less than t greater than content. Closing curly bracket. The correct answer is A. In Java, generic type parameters are specified using angle brackets, less than greater than, immediately after the class name. Option A follows the standard syntax where t is a placeholder for the type that will be provided when the class is instantiated. This allows the class to operate on different data types while maintaining compile time type safety. What happens to generic type information during Java compilation? Option A. It is preserved in the bytecode for runtime access. Option B. It is replaced by the upper bound or object via type erasure. Option C. It is converted into metadata stored in the JVM stack. Option D. It is transformed into primitive types automatically. The correct answer is B. Java uses type erasure to ensure backward compatibility with older versions of Java that did not support generics. During compilation, the compiler replaces all type parameters in generic types with their bounds. Usually object if no bound is specified. This means that at runtime, the JVM has no knowledge of the specific type arguments used. Which wildcard expression allows you to read from a list of integers or any of its superclasses? Option A. List less than. Extends integer greater than. Option B. List less than. Super integer greater than. Option C. List less than integer greater than. Option D. List less than. Greater than. The correct answer is B. The syntax less than, super t greater than is known as a lower bounded wildcard. It restricts the unknown type to be a specific type or a supertype of that type. While this is primarily used for consumers, adding to a list less than, super integer greater than can technically hold integers or objects. If you want to read from a list and treat the elements as a specific type, you usually use extends. But the question specifically asks for the syntax involving superclasses. Where should the type parameter be placed in a static generic method? Option A. After the return type. Option B. Before the return type. Option C. Inside the method body. Option D. After the method name. The correct answer is B. For generic methods, the type parameter, e.g., less than t greater than, must be declared before the method's return type. For example, Public static less than T greater than void print array. T. Array. Single quote. This tells the compiler that the method is generic and defines the scope of the type parameter. Which of these is not allowed in Java generics? Option A. List less than string greater than list equals new ArrayList less than greater than. Option B. List less than int greater than list equals new ArrayList less than greater than. Option C. List less than integer greater than list equals new ArrayList less than greater than. Option D. Map less than string. Integer greater than map equals new hashmap less than greater than. The correct answer is B. Java generics do not support primitive types. Like int, double, char. You must use their corresponding wrapper classes. Like integer, double, character. This is because generics are implemented via type erasure, which replaces types with object, and primitives do not inherit from object. How do you restrict a type parameter, T, to only accept types that are subclasses of number? Option A. Class mathbox less than T supernumber greater than. Option B. Class mathbox less than T implements number greater than. Option C. Class mathbox less than T extends number greater than. Option D. Class mathbox less than T number greater than. The correct answer is C. To define an upper bound for a type parameter, the extends keyword is used. This works for both classes and interfaces. T extends number ensures that whatever type is passed to mathbox must be number or a subclass, like integer or double, allowing the class to call methods defined in the number class. Given list less than, extends number greater than list, which of the following operations is allowed? Option A. Listadd 10. Option B. Listadd 3.14. Option C. Listadd null. Option D. Listadd new object. The correct answer is C. A list less than extends number greater than is considered a producer. Because the compiler doesn't know the exact type, it could be a list of integers or a list of doubles. It prevents you from adding anything to the list to maintain type safety. With one exception, null. You can always add null because it represents the absence of a value for any reference type. Is list less than object greater than a supertype of list less than string greater than? Option A. Yes, because object is the superclass of string. Option B. No, generic types are invariant. Option C. Yes, through the principle of covariance. Option D. Only if we use the at suppress warnings annotation. The correct answer is B. In Java, generics are invariant. This means that while string is a subtype of object, list less than string greater than is not a subtype of list less than object greater than. If this were allowed, you could add an integer to a list less than object greater than that was originally a list less than string greater than, which would break type safety at runtime. What is a raw type in Java? Option A. A generic type used without type arguments. Option B. A type used for primitive arrays. Option C. A class that cannot be instantiated. Option D. A type that is defined inside a method. The correct answer is A. A raw type is the name of a generic class or interface without any type arguments. For example, list is the raw type of list less than string greater than. Using raw types is discouraged because it bypasses compile time type checks and can lead to class cast exceptions at runtime. Which keyword allows a generic method to accept any type of list? Option A, list less than t greater than. Option B, list less than any greater than. Option C, list less than, greater than. Option D, list less than object greater than. The correct answer is C. The unbounded wildcard represents an unknown type. A list less than, greater than can accept a list of any type. List less than string greater than. List less than integer greater than, etc. Unlike list less than object greater than, which only accepts a list of objects specifically. List less than, greater than is the base type of all specialized lists. Which of the following code snippets will fail to compile due to type erasure? Option A, public void print, list less than string greater than s, and public void print, list less than integer greater than I. Opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Option B, list less than string greater than s equals new array list less than greater than. Option C, public less than t greater than t get first. List less than t greater than list. Return list get 0. Closing curly bracket. Option D, class my list less than t greater than extends array list less than t greater than. The correct answer is A. Method overloading fails if the methods have the same signature after type erasure. Since both list less than string greater than and list less than integer greater than erase to list, the two methods would have identical signatures in the bytecode, causing a compiler error. How do you specify multiple bounds for a type parameter? Option A, less than t extends a, b greater than. Option B, less than t extends a and b greater than. Option C, less than t extends a, b greater than. Option D, less than t, a and b greater than. The correct answer is B. Java allows a type parameter to have multiple bounds using the AND symbol. For example, less than t extends class A and interface b greater than. Note that if one of the bounds is a class, it must be specified first. What is the result of the Peck's mnemonic in Java generics? Option A, producer extends, consumer super. Option B, parameter extends, constant super. Option C, private extends, common super. Option D, producer erases, consumer saves. The correct answer is A. Peck stands for producer extends, consumer super. Use less than, extends t greater than if you are getting items out of a collection. It acts as a producer. Use less than, super t greater than if you are putting items into a collection. It acts as a consumer. Why is list less than string greater than L equals new list less than string greater than 10 illegal? Option A, arrays do not support objects. Option B, generic array creation is not allowed because it is not type safe. Option C, list is an interface and cannot be in an array. Option D, the syntax requires new list instead. The correct answer is B. Arrays in Java are covariant and reified. They know their type at runtime, while generics are invariant and erased. Creating a generic array would allow for situations where array store exception could be bypassed. leading to hidden runtime errors. Which interface in the Java Collections framework is generic? Option A, comparable. Option B, serializable. Option C, clonable. Option D, random access. The correct answer is A. Comparable less than T greater than is a generic interface. It allows a class to define how it compares to other objects of the same type. Serializable, clonable, and random access are marker interfaces and do not use generics. What is the effective type of elements read from a list less than, greater than? Option A, string. Option B, object. Option C, unknown. Option D, T. The correct answer is B. Since represents an unknown type, the only thing the compiler can be certain of is that any object in that list is an instance of object. Therefore, when you retrieve an element, it is treated as an object. Can a static field have a type parameter defined by the class? Option A, yes, always. Option B, no, because the type parameter is tied to an instance. Option C, only if the class is final. Option D, only if the field is also final. The correct answer is B. Static fields are shared across all instances of a class. Since the type parameter, like T in box less than T greater than, is determined when an instance is created, a static field cannot use T because the compiler wouldn't know which T to use for the shared field. What is wildcard capture in Java? Option A, using a wildcard to catch exceptions. Option B, the compiler's ability to infer a specific type for a wildcard. Option C, assigning a generic list to a raw list. Option D, converting a wildcard to a primitive type. The correct answer is B. Wildcard capture occurs when the compiler internally assigns a specific type to a wildcard so it can process an expression. This often happens when a helper method is used to process a list with a wildcard. Can you call new T inside a generic class? Option A, yes, using reflection. Option B, no, because the type is erased at runtime. Option C, yes, if T extends object. Option D, yes, if the constructor is public. The correct answer is B. You cannot instantiate a type parameter directly, e.g., new T, single quote, because of type erasure. The JVM doesn't know what T is at runtime, so it cannot allocate memory for the specific object. Which of these is a valid lower bounded wildcard declaration? Option A, list less than, extends string greater than. Option B, list less than T superstring greater than. Option C, list less than, superstring greater than. Option D, list less than string super, greater than. The correct answer is C. Lower bounded wildcards use the less than, supertype greater than syntax. This allows the list to be of type string or any of its supertypes, like object or char sequence. What is the name of the symbol less than greater than used in list less than string greater than list equals new ArrayList less than greater than? Option A, the arrow operator. Option B, the diamond operator. Option C, The generic brackets. Option D. The inference tag. The correct answer is B. Introduced in Java 7, the less than greater than operator is known as the diamond operator. It allows the compiler to infer the type arguments from the context, reducing verbosity in the code. Can you overload a method by changing only the generic type parameters? Option A. Yes, if the return types are different. Option B. No, because of type erasure. Option C. Yes, the compiler treats them as different types. Option D. Only if the methods are static. The correct answer is B. Method overloading requires different parameter types. Since list less than string greater than and list less than integer greater than both erase to list at runtime, the compiler sees them as having the same signature, leading to a clash. Is if list instance of list less than string greater than valid syntax? Option A. Yes, it checks the type at runtime. Option B. No, you cannot use instance of with parameterized types. Option C. Yes, but it requires a cast. Option D. Only if the list is not empty. The correct answer is B. Because of type erasure, the generic type information is not available at runtime. Therefore, the JVM cannot check if a list is specifically a list less than string greater than. You can only check instance of list or instance of list less than greater than. What happens when you cast a raw list to a list less than string greater than? Option A. A compile time error. Option B. A runtime class cast exception. Option C. An unchecked cast warning from the compiler. Option D. Nothing. It is perfectly safe. The correct answer is C. Casting a raw type to a parameterized type is allowed but results in an unchecked warning. The compiler cannot guarantee that the raw list actually contains only strings, so it warns the developer of potential heap pollution. Can a generic class extend throwable? Option A. Yes, to create generic exceptions. Option B. No, generic classes cannot extend throwable or its subclasses. Option C. Only if the type parameter is bounded by exception. Option D. Yes, if it is a checked exception. The correct answer is B. Java does not allow generic classes to extend throwable. This is because exception handling is a runtime mechanism, and since generic type information is erased, the catch block wouldn't be able to distinguish between my exception less than string greater than and my exception less than integer greater than. Which of these is a valid class literal for a generic type? Option A. List less than string greater than class. Option B. List less than greater than class. Option C. List class. Option D. List less than t greater than class. The correct answer is C. Class literals for parameterized types are not allowed. You must use the raw type followed by class. For example, list class is valid, but list less than string greater than class is not. What is the purpose of less than t extends comparable less than super t greater than in a method signature? Option A. It ensures t can be compared with itself or its superclasses. Option B. It allows T to be compared only with object. Option C. It is a recursive generic that is invalid in Java. Option D. It forces T to be a primitive type. The correct answer is A. This is a common pattern in the Collections API. Like Collections, Sort, it ensures that the type T implements the comparable interface, and that it can compare itself to its own type or any of its supertypes, offering maximum flexibility for inheritance hierarchies. Which annotation is used to ignore warnings about raw types? Option A. At ignore. Option B. At suppress warnings. Unchecked. Option C. At no warning. Option D. At raw type. The correct answer is B. The at suppress warnings. Unchecked. Or at suppress warnings. Raw types. Annotation tells the compiler to silence warnings that occur when using raw types or performing unchecked casts. Can you use super in a class type parameter declaration like class my class less than T superstring greater than? Option A. Yes. It defines a lower bound. Option B. No. Super can only be used in wildcards. Option C. Yes. But only for interfaces. Option D. Yes. If the class is abstract. The correct answer is B. In Java generics, the super keyword is only permitted in wildcards, e.g., list less than, super T greater than. It cannot be used when declaring a type parameter for a class or a method, e.g., less than T superstring greater than is invalid. What is heap pollution in the context of Java generics? Option A. When the JVM runs out of memory. Option B. When a variable of a parameterized type refers to an object that is not of that type. Option C. When multiple threads access a generic list. Option D. When the garbage collector fails to clear generic objects. The correct answer is B. Heap pollution occurs when a parameterized type variable refers to an object of a different type than expected. This usually happens when mixing raw types and generic types or through unchecked casts, leading to class cast exceptions at unexpected points in the code. That wraps up our 30 practice questions on Java generics. How many did you get right? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dive Java tutorials. For the full-length practice exam and more advanced Java training, check the link in the description below.